The zone wasn't capped. There's no penalty, Sassy.
Aside, and it's just you. Getting that 52 to work and getting a triple.
Hello and welcome back to the Splat World Series REWOUND, where we take a look at the matches that weren't featured on stream. Today we have PxG versus Content Cat, and I'm Melodic, joined by Topic.
Hello, Melodic, and I think there is no other place to start this than introducing PxG. Now, if you are a Western Splatoon fan, this is by far one of the best Western teams that we have seen. Of course, we have Gray, Soldier, Gauss, and Torretta. Now, interestingly, Noah is not playing in this, so this is a brand new leader player for PxG. So even though this is a new player, this is still a very, very, very strong team here. And interesting fun fact, PxG in tournaments within the West have a 100% win rate. Now, for Gray specifically, I believe that this year Splat World Series was his first tournament loss, and his resume this year includes in the zone, Sender Q finals, and of course being one of the only Western player to win an area cup. So very, very strong team here. So Melodic, why don't you introduce them, who they're playing against?
Yes, their opponent is Content Cat. We see Atlas on the stickers Splatana Stamper, we have Hawaiian on the Tri-Stringer, Kronos on the Tenant Umbrella, Gimme on the Dabbles, and Pika sporting the Blaster. Very strong roster overall, and I love to see some off-meta love.
Yeah, off-meta love indeed, but they are kind of what was said before, having uphill battle to climb against PxG. Now, I'm very interested to see how they use tent here, because of course Kronos is known as a very good tent player alongside with Hawaiian being low. A very interesting combo indeed. Now, of course, as SWS tradition, both teams get to ban two maps that are either very helpful for their opponents or they'd rather just not play on. And of course, the first match of this set will be random, so let's see what we decide to play, and it is going to be Manta Maria.
Yes, we're going to the docks. I like Manta Maria. I feel like it's very open to interpretation. You have some side flanks that may have been removed in Game 2 or Splatoon 2, but there's still a lot of areas to maneuver and to shark around in order to get the upper hand.
Yeah, well, let's see, as both these teams are ready to go. And from the side of Content Cat, kind of going with a like I said, a bow plus tent comp, kind of what is they're known for. And from the side of PxG, hey, it's really, really simple. You know what they're gonna play. They have Gray on that blast. I'm looking towards him to see how he can really use this tent alongside Torretta here, just doing a great job of doing a lot of damage to that tent shield. Make sure it cannot be used alongside two more. That was going to be weakened by Gauss alongside Gray, kind of capturing Kronos, getting a nice pick there. The chumps used a little bit late to help, and unfortunately Gauss will go below deck to check something out. As for the rest of the team, though, they do a great job of just contesting zone.
Indeed. Safe jump out from Gray. They are maintaining that splashdown, ending up using it on that bunker. 3 going down on the side of Content Cat as PxG is taking control of the street. Slosher is poking from the left side, trying to get a pick unknowingly. The Stamper is able to jump in. It's getting kind of cornered there by the leader up top as well. Waybreaker trying to get some location on that right street. Booyah Bomb coming out onto zone, trying to push back and make an opening for PxG. Is able to neutralize, but not much more.
I mean, yeah, not much more because I think Torretta just being there is going to be able to at least put a lot of pressure up alongside Soldiers just taking control of bunker because on this map, getting both bunkers is very big here. Controlling the mass is very important here. You see as PxG just doing a lot of resources over here. Gray doing a great job getting one, possibly two. There it is. Hawaiian forced to back away, not quite able to. The jumper is going to go down as well. And PxG doing a great job. Look how they're set up already. Just waiting, looking at that top left side as the time continues to tick down. Chump's going to be used kind of in a panic here to try to force a fight, try to get something here. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. And wait, hold on, wait, never mind. For a second, it looked like they had it, but unfortunately, Content Cat is not able to recapture that zone enough. And PxG, a very, very dominant game. And I will say, kind of not unsung hero, but like the biggest help for PxG is Torretta there. Just getting a nice couple snipes at the beginning of the game to keep Content Cat on their back foot. And then throughout the game, just being a presence, just having that pressure, that implicit pressure, just doing a lot to make Content Cat kind of not scared, but more hesitant to push up.
Indeed. I just want to note, I've never seen a leader drop that far left. Very interesting. But I feel like Content Cat was just more overwhelmed. And then, as you said, scared because PxG just had that constant force and pressure from Torterra. You got Gray with the Legends and the Blasters. Everything combined, it could be very overwhelming. But we are going to Hagglefish Market, a very, very rectangular, very linear board with some alternate ways to access. But it's definitely going to be a fun game nonetheless, especially with Tenebrella being able to dive each lane.
I mean, yeah, you said it. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Chumps bow coming out from Hawaii to kind of take advantage of this map being kind of flat, especially on pushing up to the enemy court here. So we're going to see, we hop straight into it. Yup, there it is. There is the Chumps. There is the tent as kind of expected from Content Cat. And then from PxG, kind of their staple. They don't really switch up their weapon comps at all. They're comfortable with what they have. They know it works. So, hey, why not stick with it?
Indeed. It is just going to be, a nice snipe from Torretta here on the left side. It's going to be giving PxG this opportunity to move in. Gimme able to punish the unknowingness of the leader. It's just a very aggressive play here in mid. Lots of action happening.
Yeah, because Gray and Goss did a great job just following up with one another to keep away Content Cat. Unfortunately, Gray is going to go down there, so that might give them the opportunity they need to get in. And they already used that 10 shields to paint up the zone. And Atlas, it feels like, has been really shut down here. They haven't really been able to get a lot of momentum because whether it be Soldier, whether it be Torretta, just being able to shut them down, they're finally able to get into the court, but not for long. Torretta being that unsung hero, a nice 2 picks there to keep PxG in a good spot to where they're not being pushed that far back, putting a lot of pressure on both Chronos and Hawaiian. The splash on able to get a nice trade on Gimme as well. So PxG, they're doing a great job. I think Torretta is being a really good backliner as he's able to just stay alive and give those jumps, allow the rest of the team to just do what you see right here. Soldiers putting up a lot of pressure.
Indeed. 2 are down on Content Cat. It's going to be a little bit of a rough re-entry. PxG does have those strikes to stall here. It's seeing lots of AoE control on this left tent, mitigating any form of re-entry. Gray is trying to support.
Yeah, attempted support here, but you see kind of jumping away to make sure that they have this right-hand side, even though they did keep up left. They weren't forced to back away. They're able to keep at least some of it painted. Gray has that splashdown suit to kind of dissuade any members of Content Cat from pushing up. They're going up themselves, not quite able to pop it off, but hey, they're doing just enough to grab attention to themselves and force Content Cat's hand. You see right here, Torretta in a really, really deadly spot here. If Content Cat can't move them, then guess what? The rest of the team is just going to be able to push up here. Soldier can safely jump back and continue playing up that pressure. Gray and Gauss can be there as well. You see right here, every time they try to make their way out of court, they're just is that consistency from Gray, Goss, and Soldier being able to just make sure that every entryway is looked at all times.
Yes, very strong positioning from Torareta, getting a nice pick onto Hawaiian, delaying any times of re-entry. Chumps are getting shredded. Only 10 ticks left. Content Cat's going to have to make a mad dash to zone. The 10 shield is crossing. Kronos is able to get behind. Zuka and Goss is able to get that trade as Content Cat does get the cap again, putting a nice big penalty onto PxG, but it's just still anyone's game.
I mean, yeah, it might be right now, but PxG, they're not going away. Torareta, they just stayed alive, got a nice pick on Atlas. Gray jumped in, and they were able to get back into the zone. Gimme, even though they're getting a lot of picks here, they're going to be forced to back away because they're going to get followed up on really nicely. I love the comboing by PxG, just having one member go in and get a lot of damage up, and the other one's following up really, really quickly here, is able to do just enough to keep zone in their favor. Even after this Booyah Bomb, even after all this pressure being or attempted pressure being put up by Content Cat, it feels like PxG, they really aren't phased, because every time they try to go this right hand side, you see right there, they get shut down almost immediately. It just feels like PxG has their number, and they're not quite, or Content Cat isn't quite able to get a lot of surprises or a lot of one-off picks. They're always going down in trades, which isn't really helpful at this point.
Indeed, 1 minute left, but that penalty is increasingly low. But Content Cat is able to get that cap. A deadly fight here on left side. We do see a Booyah Bomb getting popped from Kronos, trying to catch a jump unaware. Torareta survives the Booyah Bomb, trying to get back into position. Waper coming out before getting bombarded by Kronos Suzuka. Kronos trying to get the pick onto Torterra is very crucial here. Atlas here in the bottom left trying to poke at the ledge before getting rushed down. Splashdown going into zone, trying to neutralize. Isn't quite able to, but they are able to get the cap with the strikes from Soldier. And we only have 30 seconds left.
Yeah, not a lot of time, and I feel like every time Content Cat has threatened to take the zone, it feels like PxG has managed to get a pick, or they've managed to push them away. You see right here, they neutralized it once again, but they aren't quite able to get a good hold in the enemy court here, as you see right here, they're trying. Gimme keeps pushing forward. They keep getting the zone momentarily, but every time they try to go any farther, Atlas goes down, Gimme goes down, Gray goes on the flank there. You see, even though we are in overtime, it feels like PxG, they're still putting a lot of pressure on the zone to strike some Soldier, able to neutralize it while two go down. The splashdown will be all she wrote, and PxG, a very, very, very strong game from them, as it felt like every time Content Cat tried to push into court, they were just met either by Torareta or by a flank from Gray that they had to look at, or by Goss or Soldiers getting a nice either bomb or shot or a nice slosh that were able to just follow up and get those picks.
Indeed, that splashdown was definitely the nail in the coffin. We did see a little bit more aggression from Content Cat in the end there, but as you said, it was kind of just the same cycle. They would go in, they would try to get a pick, and then they would end up going down. Just because PxG is so put together, they know who to fight with who and where to have those fights. But it is going to a game 3 now, as it is play all. PxG will ban 2 stages, and then the pick will go to Content Cat, banning Undertow, Spillway, and Hammerhead Bridge.
Yeah, we're gonna see what Content Cat picks. No, this set, although is already in favor of PxG, I think being able to grab a win here will be very, very helpful in the seeding process. And I believe they are going to go to Barnacle and Dime, another map that can be a little bit favorable for Tent, because you can push through, try to get to Plat. Those chumps as well from Hawaii be a very, very big help as well to try to get Gimme and Atlas in, give them a little bit of cover, because we saw in that last game, every time Atlas or Gimme pushed, Torareta was there and got a nice pick to keep, or to get PxG's counter push going really quickly.
Indeed. We see Atlas here poking from that left side, trying to get some chip damage off on anyone on that side before getting found out by Gray, being forced to retreat for that cooler and chumps out. It's seemingly that Content Cat is making their advance. Kronos getting on this top left, trying to get a one-tap pick before getting shut down by the rest of PxG. It is just kind of a fight for mid here. Gimme getting behind is getting tapped down by Torareta. They are able to hold their ground, isn't quite able to hit that second one. And as I say, they are able to make up for it. Waberger at the ready, trying to get the space with the strikes from Soldier, and they are able to get that zone.
Yeah, they were getting a good push going, but what happened was they weren't able to get to Plat. You saw right there, they were going straight for Torretta. Plat was completely painted in PxG's color, which allowed for this retake, which allowed for them to get back in. And Chronos is dragging a lot of attention to themselves, but feels like they really aren't affecting the game outside of that. The attention is helpful, but PxG, they're keeping notes of where they are, but they're not diverting resources to them. They're keeping their attention forward. They're keeping their attention on the backline, on the people immediately there. You see Gimme getting a nice pick on Gray, however, is going to be able to get at least attempt to get a little bit more going, but no, as another snipe from Torretta is able to just keep Content Cat from getting a good lockout that they need here.
We see the strikes from Soldier coming out before getting rushed down by Atlas. Great movement from him. Getting 2 onto Gray. That is a 2-down situation for PxG. And Atlas is now taking control of this left side. They had that Booyah Bomb for that continuation as Contact Cat is able to regroup. They have the chumps. They are going to try and hopefully move into their plat. Atlas surviving with the help of his Booyah Bomb. Getting kind of stuck down here before taking this 1v1. Did force a jump out though from Soldier. And Contact Cat is moving on to this spot. They are getting their control that they need.
Yeah, they are. They're able to get a good hold here, but you gotta be at least a little bit worried of Torretta getting a pick here. Maybe Gray going in with that splashdown to try to force a fight here. Unfortunately, they are going to go down. So it looks like Content Cat, they're doing a really great job of getting this lockout, though. Gauss getting a pick is going to be what they need to start getting that retake. PxG with those strikes as well, able to paint the zone, not quite able to recapture, and Content Cat is able to fend off PxG and win game 3. So hey, on the stat sheet, it looks a lot better as a 2-1 than the 3-0.
Definitely. Contact Cat, like as soon as they went up to the plat, I was like, okay, they got something going here. That's what their comp is supposed to do. That's what I feel like their whole intention was. Atlas playing that left side was just playing that poking game because no one on PxG could really reach them, and they were just able to hold that space as their team was able to move up. And there's just special coordination in that last few seconds was also really good. The chumps coming out for as decoys, Booyah Bomb for preservation, and it was honestly just a very nice ending hold.
Yeah, and I think what helped Content Cat is that Torretta, while they were putting up a lot of implicit pressure, they weren't getting those picks. They weren't getting these one-off or two-off snipes that allowed PxG to retake rather effectively. You saw there, at the beginning of the game, I believe it was Gimme rushed straight for Torretta. They did go down, and that kind of allowed PxG to kind of take zone rather easily. But after that, it just felt like they were a lot smarter, like they were a lot more calculated with how they pushed, because like you said, Chronos was a distraction with that tent, just taking a lot of damage, taking a lot of attention to themselves. Hawaiian using those chumps a bit further up, so Gimme and Atlas can kind of play around them as well. It just felt a lot more coordinated than those other 2 games.
Indeed. It was just a very fun set to watch. Very active. Both teams were giving it their go. I think overall definitely looks better on the scoreboard, as you said.
Yeah, and with that, that'll be it for this set of Splat World Series 2026 Rewound. But hey, don't go anywhere. Why not watch another video, because we have an entire playlist of sets that you need to watch. So hey, don't go anywhere. Click next. Watch another video, why don't you?